All right, welcome to another episode from the chart readers, and you've got to love what we're looking at right here on MVIS, on MVIS. So very, very excited to talk about this one. Look, this is doing what it's supposed to be doing, right? When the 8 and the 20, especially this one, right? But like when the 8 and the 20 are your friend, you can see things like this happen, all right? So a very, very nice movement, very much, in my opinion, heavily connected to the indice movement on Friday. So I will for sure touch on that for sure, all right? Dish. Okay, listen, there was a comment from someone, and look, I appreciate everyone that says, like, I'm good at finding tickers and this, that. Look, the team finds the ticker. I swear, I had no idea Dish was setting up. I think it was Samuel on Twitter that threw it to me first. I might be wrong, but like, listen, the people that watched this video, like my chart reader stuff, the people that there are some amazing thoughts, and not all of them come from me. All right, it's really why I keep saying, like, we're all equals here. You have no idea where the next monster 4 letters are going to come from. All right, so Dish is a beautiful example of that, and then Soundhound. You know, I'm knock on wood, I've been right about the SoundHound chart itself, but I've been pretty inaccurate about NASDAQ in a few ways. And knock on wood again, it's doing better than I'm expecting, right? But man, the same comment from MVIS, the indice movement on Friday lifted SoundHound significantly, all right? And that is something I'm going to echo for sure. But before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Excuse me, same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can, please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. I'm telling you, anything you can do helps me so much with these YouTube algorithms, especially if you can actually share the video. But for real, just being here, giving me your time, I'm so thankful for it all right? So woof, microvision, MVIS, MVIS doing what MVIS knows how to do. Okay, very, very often you will see I zoom out on a stock, all right? It's important for me to believe the stock knows what to do, all right? And specifically what I mean is, like, does it know how to break moving averages? Does it know how to break all 5 and fly? Has it done it recently? Has it been like a decade and a half since it's done, right? Like, these are important things to know, right? And I mean, this right here says it all. Like, MVIS knows how to break the 8, go to the 20, break the 20, go to the 50, break the 50, go to the 100, break the 100, go to the 200, break all 5 and fly. It knows how to do it. Wasn't that long ago it did it, right? End of the day, everything is subject to reality, right? Like, I know we've seen the like craziness of stuff in the last like 3 years especially, right? But what goes up must come down. There's a reason why I go green, 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 red, 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 hopefully green, 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 green again, right? But this is the parabolic world that we're living in, right? Like, knock on wood, we sell up here, get back down here, and rinse and repeat, right? So I like parabolic movement, especially with the moving averages kind of guiding me in and out, right? But there was a couple things we were getting excited for, and again, kind of starting where I did on the other one, right? Break the 8, go to the 20, break the 20, go to the 50, break the 50, go to the 100. Did we break the 50 on Friday? Now look, physically, yes, we're obviously well over it, right? But you know I need confirmation, especially as we get deeper and deeper into the 5 lines, right? But man, there is so much to like. And really quickly, I want to make a funny call out on the Wednesday date. All right, there was a very excited note. I want to say it happened early in the morning too, because I know I saw it. All right, I know I saw it. But Mavis made this what looked like beautiful break of the 100 a couple days ago. What looked like this candle was right here, right? And you have to remember, when I make my videos, it's at the close, right? You need the regular hour to close before you get excited. Now, don't get me wrong, you can jump in at times and ride it, right? You don't, like, there are very different strategies and this and that, right? But for me, as a day mover, that's how it works, right? The Discord has made it a little harder to, like, not move, you know what I mean? But that's a different story. But look, microvision, right? On the last couple videos, again, I basically said it seemed like we wanted to go. You know, I have to flash NASDAQ. NASDAQ, I've been saying for a few moments. I said it around here. I for sure said it right here. It looked like NASDAQ was going to drop. It looked like we were going to do a healthy drop, lose the 8, go to the 20, then go back up. This thing is not giving up the 8 moving average. This thing wants to keep going. SP 500, same thing, does not want to give up the line. Dow Jones is just completely flying and taking off, right? So there is strength still. And end of the day, when the indices do well, so will stocks. Man, it seems like we're at least coming here. It really looks like, and you know, nothing's guaranteed and stuff like that, right? But yeah, it looks like we want to at least go to the 200. And the thoughts that I said on the last video were, if we can break the 200, I actually think we might start pushing the 4s. Because again, right, once we, and this is the same thing I did, I'll do it again just in case you missed it, right? I'm going to delete this line. But once we get over the purple line, which is now this 292, green, red, green, red, red. Like, there is nothing but crazy fast movement from roughly $3 to $4. All right, if we can crack that line, I do think it'll be a quick ride up. All right, the RSI is getting a little high, but you can see it during that run. And you know, I've been mentioning, like, we lived in the high 80s to 90s. That should at least make me think I can hit the 83, 84 range and not like freak out and drop, right? Because that's a thing that happens. Like, it's a good thing that it doesn't happen in this one, but something like this, where you get really high and you actually just like freak out and drop. There's no other way for me to like describe that, right? But oh man, there is nothing better than the stock doing what it's supposed to do. And to me, it starts by making the 8 and the 20 your best friends. All right, I'm going to just end it with that. You can see the struggle. You can see the struggle. You can see the struggle. You can see the difference. Hopefully, we're starting that difference again, right? So, and look, I'll quickly touch on this 255 line. If you watch my video, again, I assumed the 100 moving average was going to come here on Monday. I thought we were going to have a battle of that 255 on Monday. That's the candle you want to see when you break a resistance and a moving average. Again, the fact that we dropped the moving average, I need a confirmation now. I mean, I would say the same thing for a resistance, don't get me wrong, but you know, I put a little bit more weight on the computer lines instead of my lines, right? But MVIS, one more time, it looks like it wants to go to 290. If this thing breaks 290, if we start touching, like, I think I have an alert, but just to be safe, let's set a 293. I like 293. If we can, let's do 294. I don't need to be greedy. If we can start cracking into that 290s, oh man, there actually might be another dollar coming, 33% real quick, right? So did I flash the weekly? I didn't, but again, I think, okay, so this at least tells me this 333 might be a little harder to break than I was anticipating. Obviously, it looks a lot easier over here. I do have a line on it, right? So, I mean, it was obviously something. Bottom of that, some stuff here. The weekly is at least signaling a little difficulty here. But if that breaks, my 4 might not even be the stopping point, right? But I actually think 333 is the better place to put the target. It's only 10%, not 33, but only 10% is very, very loosely stated, because that's a big number. Believe me, a double-digit target is a beautiful thing to have your eyes on. All right, so let me know your thoughts and opinions. Even if you disagree, you know that, right? But let's make our way to Dish. All right, so hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe, if you can please share, it goes a long way. All right, so Dish Network. All right, the first thing I want to say, all right, because I can't stress how often I say we're all equal here, all right? And I know it sounds cheesy and fake, like, like, don't get me wrong, I hear it, but I've been watching Dish, I believe, since the 20th. I am not in it just yet. Man, if I saw this thing do it on Friday, I probably would have like wet my whistle, dipped my toes, whatever you want to call it. I like this going into Monday a lot, and I'll get into it. But what I do want to stress is this, all right? Throw me your viewer requests. If I can't make a video, I'm at least going to reply to it with numbers. And I look, I don't like talking about making money and stuff like that, but the viewer requests, man, I am not using my scanners as often as I used to, because like people drop fire. Look at this chart. Look at this, right? Like, I hope you see what I'm about to say. That's why I'm like talking about other stuff for minutes, because I know others find these before I do. And man, throw me your viewer requests. Like this chart right here is the reason why I had. Let's get into the technicals, all right? And I actually think this is a really nice view for what needs to happen, all right? Again, I don't know if you just fast forwarded from the microvision MVIS part or not, but bad things happen under the 8 and the 20, all right? I don't care what the 4 letters are. That's an easy way to just, make all things equal, for lack of words. And you can see it. We struggle to get over the 8. We'll hit the 20. Looks like we can get over it, and that's something I'm going to talk about. I'm obviously going to talk about it here, right? But then very quickly we come back, and once again, we're just struggling with this line. Oh, look at that. Struggling with this line, right? We're at a place where a few things are starting to look really nice, all right? First of all, this is horrible, right? I hope you did not have your money up here at 550 and all of a sudden wake up the next, Monday to see it down here at 340. Like, this is horrible, right? However, if you're like, I lost no money when this came down. What I see is red, dying to turn to green, all right? Like, this is good for me, especially if I didn't lose any money on this, right? And why do I like that? Look, as I zoom out, it's even easier. Like, there is nothing happening inside this red candle. And to me, you can't draw any like resistances in a red candle. The resistances come on the green ones, right? So this is a beautiful nothing of red dying to turn to green. Look, I know it's already passed, but this was an important line of break right there. And again, I'm not looking for perfect. I probably should lower it just a little bit to like completely equal. But yeah, once we got, I'll just do it, whatever, sorry, OCD-ish. Once we got over that, we stopped right there. We run right there, right? And again, the same thing I said with MVIS. If you're going to break a resistance and a moving average, that's the candle you want to see it with. That's a nice way of saying, all right, there actually might be some juice here, okay? Now listen, it is very, very difficult to break a single line on a single day, let alone 2, okay? And in some ways, as I'm saying it, right, like let's talk about the 8 moving average specifically. So obviously we were well under it till here. We've now gotten over it and confirmed. This is a doji, okay? And you don't hear me talk about candle shapes. I'm a break a line, lose a line kind of guy, right? But the one shape that like makes me tremble, there's no other way of saying it, is a doji, especially as it gets more textbook and perfect, right? The thinner the middle, the more equal the wicks up and down. Like, that's a textbook doji right at an important place. I'm knock on wood, I'm pretty good at drawing some lines, right? And I did just draw this, obviously, so it's a little bit cheating, right? But yeah, I would have drawn the line. It was the top of this thing, right? So again, hearsay, I might have not have, and I hope you believe me, right? But That makes me worried. And you can kind of see the aftermath from there. This, I don't know if it would have fooled even me. And I don't even say like even me as like, like I'm something special, right? But maybe the fact that this wasn't that big a candle, and in a lot of ways, when I say fool, dude, I would have gotten in here and gotten up, right? So fool is actually not the word in hindsight, right? But I could have seen this making me think it's a confirmation since, the doginess went away. And it was actually, oops, don't click there. It was actually a decent candle where we opened down here at 63 cents and close up here at 370, right? So, I don't know if this would have fooled me, but here's where we go, okay? We then lose the 8. We then don't confirm. That's kind of a doji to me. Obviously, it's not as strong as this one, but that's like a weird little random candle. So in some ways, we actually are re-breaking the 8 and the 20. So that was a really long-winded way of saying that. But yeah, to me, this is a break of 2 candles. And I really think to confirm, I need this to close at least at 404 to 410. Let's just say 405 to 410. All right, I think that would be a good range. Give me about or a little bit more than half of this candle. And if that happens from there, I mean, honestly, it might even happen on Monday, and I'll get to that shortly. But yeah, break the 8, go to the 20, break the 20, go to the 50. When you've got nothing but red between here and there, oh man, that's nasty. What I did want to zoom out on is just actually see where I would draw the support. I don't even think that it hits these 3. I think I would have drawn it right here. Yeah, I think it's 490. I think I like that 490 line just a little more than that 480 line. I'm going to draw that. Look at 485, right in the middle, 46, whatever, right? Again, we're not here for perfect. You know that. Good enough will make you or save you a lot. Believe me when I say that, all right? But yeah, there is absolutely no resistance between where we're at and the 50, okay? The one thing I will say is there's a very decent shot that this drops down to 375. There's actually a shot it goes as low as 370. I'm kind of guessing where this 8 moving average is going to open on Monday. That's roughly the slope. Maybe, yeah, 375. I actually can see this coming down to 375. Otherwise, I'm going to set an alert for, give me 96, 396. Give me 396. I would love to add a little less than $1 onto that. So Dish Network looks good. The last thing I want to say just before I do move on, look, I like the spacing here. I see an ability to get to the 50, chill out, get to the 100, chill out, get to the 200. There's a nice spacing, and that's way better to attack than some thick lines right here. You know I don't like the thick lines, okay? This 100 moving average on Dish has been a very, very difficult line, okay? I'm glad we made a nice little movement on it in this August month, not that far away from where we were, but I mean, rejection after rejection after rejection after rejection after rejection cannot be understated, all right? There was another little rejection right there, but there were actually 2 lines right there, right? So I think anything higher than a $5.70 target is a little extreme. I am not here to talk about a squeeze. I'm not here to talk about $14 or, 18 or 31. Get out of here. This is a sub $4 stock. Some people call anything under $5 a penny stock, right? So if we can get to basically 5 something, dude, that's a lot of money. That's an easy 25% on top of another little bit, right? Because 4 to 5 is that 25%, and then we're gonna add another 75 cents on that. That's another 10% and a little bit more, another 15% on top of that, right? Like don't get greedy. Don't underestimate the blue line. I'm not trying to say that this red line's any easier. You can see the difficulty here, right? But I like this RSI. I like the MACD that seems like it wants to go there. And then just to end the thought, I got to still look at the weekly. Damn, I took a minute on Dish, but I haven't covered this one. So the volume was down here. The average line was at 7.5 million on the 30th, right? I'm just kind of clicking a random day. All of a sudden, it's starting to rise up to 10 million. All right, that's good because again, from 7 to 10 is actually a roughly 50% gain, right? About 3 added to that 7, you're at that 10, right? So that's good. And you know, it's weird because obviously there was a big sell off here. So this is a loud outlier. But I feel like looking away from that, so there's no good view. It kind of seems like more people have been buying and holding than have been like buying and flipping, buying and flipping, buying and flipping, buying and flipping. I see people holding, and I like that. You know what I mean? Interesting. Ooh, I gotta draw this line. I'm gonna draw it right there, 436. Where is that? I don't need it. Ooh, I do need to draw that. No, I think the 50 moving average slope will get to that. I don't think we need to draw that. I think the 50 will help us with that line. Dish, I like it for Monday, that's for sure. I spent a little longer than I expected, but hopefully that was some good stuff right there. Let's move to the last one here, and it is SOUNHOUND. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe and share the video, very much appreciated. But man, SOUNDHOUND, what a like this. Okay, like this is a theater right here. This is a very cool big, this is a boxing match. Oh man, I'm just stock nerding here, sorry, but dude, just look at it, right? Like I'm not one to talk about like wedge patterns and stuff like that. I'm sure there's something, right? But to me, man, going to this, coming to this, going to this, coming to this, going to this, coming to this, that 220 battle that I just kept talking about and talking about. Crazy sell right there, right? Crazy recovery right here. I mean, the 220 line is crazy. The 100 moving average line is crazy. Like this has been a show to say the least, all right? I want to flash the NASDAQ, all right? Knock on wood, I've been pretty all right calling these last couple weeks, but where I feel I've been a little incorrect is the NASDAQ. And end of the day, I'm glad that the 8 moving average is allowing me to kind of, you know, fix my mistakes is I guess the easiest word to say it. But look, if you've been watching it during that entire couple week battle, right? Like I thought we were going to lose the 8 moving average right here. I thought we were going to lose it, come down to here, and then very quickly and healthy bounce back up, right? No crazy fear, no crazy tanking, none of that silliness. But yeah, a healthy cool down. Because I mean, again, look how high that RSI is, right? We don't. This happens, and again, I start to worry. I start to say, look, it makes sense to me that we're going to lose the 8, probably come down to the 20, hit the 20 right here, make a healthy bounce up. All of a sudden, Friday does this. All of a sudden, on the SPX, on the S&P 500, Friday does that. All of a sudden, on Friday, the Dow Jones keeps flying and actually making separation from the 8 moving. Actually just broke them all and is you know what I mean? Like there is some craziness happening on the indices, all right? You know, I always say NASDAQ is the one that matters most on something like this. This is a lower tier tech stock, and I say that with love and no offense, right? But yeah, this thing still has a lot to prove, and like, yeah, it's a lower tier tech stock. I'm comfortable saying that, and I hope you're not offended, right? But when NASDAQ does well, this will do well. And look at this candle, what I love. And you can see it in the box over there, and I'm going to zoom in very quickly. The high of the day was 230. The close of the day was 230. That means the entire day to the very last second of trading, people were saying, let me buy, let me buy, let me buy, let me buy, give me more, give me more, give me more, give me more. And the market had to say, I'm done, close the doors, come back on Monday. You cannot anymore, we're done. There's no wick. There is nothing. The high of the day was the close. They could not stop buying and buying and buying and buying. I love that, okay? Listen, we broke 2 moving averages on a single day. If it's actually been the echoing theme on this, MVIS, no, that was wrong. Was that the other one? It might have been the other. I just talked about this on I have, whatever. If you're going to break 2 candles on a single day, make it happen with a good, strong candle like this. I like that, right? I need confirmation. I don't think I can take anything less than that line. What's your half? All right, I will accept 237. I was going to drop it at 235, but I don't know if that's a big enough. 237, $2.37 is the minimum it can close on Monday for me to believe, look, I have to set a little bit higher expectations if we break two, right? If we broke only one, maybe I would have done that 235, maybe even try to say like, what's that right there? Even 233 might have made me all right on a single line. If we're going to break two, yeah, let's see what we're going to do. You know what I mean? But 8 still going up, 20 still going up. There is a lot to like on SoundHound, all right? Where are we on the weekly? We're trying to break that 50. I've been talking about that $2.69 for a minute now. It's luckily dropped to 255. That's good, right? Like now my entry is a couple cents lower. I love it, right? So as the 200 comes down, it'll change that money line. But at the end of the day, get me over the 200. That will get me over the 50 on the weekly. There is no 100 moving average. You can see in the box over there, there are only 3. 255, excuse me, is now our money line over all the moving averages on the daily, overall in the weekly. Hopefully NASDAQ keeps going. Man, SoundHound, one more time, that 260 line, that right there was a front row seat to like any boxing match, man. That was some fun movement right there. And hopefully we're going to confirm on Monday and escape and never have to do this again. We'll just talk about it one day later. You know what I mean? So appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Feel free to disagree. Otherwise, more videos coming. Thank you.